Hello everyone, welcome to AWS Data Engineering Training Program. And as part of this training, yesterday we started with our compute resource, or you can say processing power, that was launching our first EC2 instance. And we launched it successfully, but somehow, unfortunately, we could not connect to the server. There were some issues. Basically, the issue was related to networking, and tomorrow's class will be like more in depth about networking. So in tomorrow's class you will understand in more better way like why we were not able to connect to the server, but I can brief you today also. So there is a security group yesterday we talked about. In the security group we already allowed the connection on port number 22, but even after that it was not working because on top of security group there is one more layer of security which is known as network access control list. In simple words it is known as NACL, network access control list. So access control list layer that was blocking our traffic, because in my previous batch for testing purpose, for demonstration purpose, I was showing something like how to block the traffic, and somehow I forgot to remove that remove that layer. So the layer was in place and that was blocking the traffic. I removed that, and now we are able to log in into our server. Okay, so today we will be talking about all these things: AWS CLI. CLI is command line interface. IAM role for EC2 instance, security group for EC2 instance, volumes and snapshots, creating AMI, that stands for Amazon Machine Image, and creating EC2 instance alarms. All these things we'll be exploring practically, so don't need to remember anything. Starting with the first one, AWS CLI. And before we do that, we need to log in into our server. So let me go back to my AWS console. I have already logged in. We'll go to EC2. Okay. So for debugging purpose, yesterday I launched one more server as well with the name server 2. You can see this. I can remove it. This is no longer required now. I can go to instance state and terminate. Terminate is nothing but delete. And as we discussed yesterday also, when you terminate some instance, it will be appearing in this list for some time. After a few hours, it will disappear. If you notice, like yesterday, two more instances were appearing, which are not there now. Okay, so we can log in into our first server. And what do we need for that? As we discussed yesterday also, we just need public IP address in order to log in into the server, and that private key file, key pair file basically. When we launched our server, we created one key pair file that was downloaded on my system, and the same file we will be using for logging into our server. So I will copy the IP address. So just give me a moment. So go to networking and you will find public IP address. Okay, copy this, come back to the putty, right? So you can specify the username. The default username for EC2 instance is EC2 hyphen user. It's hyphen, it's not underscore. So make sure you type it correctly. At the rate your IP address, public IP, not the private one. And now we'll go to SSH. We'll click on auth, browse. Yesterday we downloaded one file, right? What was the name? EC2. Yes, this one. EC2 key pair August 24.ppk file. Select this, click on open, and one more time click on open. Yesterday also we were trying the same thing, but it was not allowing us to log in because something was blocking our traffic. But today we are successfully able to log in into our EC2 instance. When you will log in first time, a small pop-up will come. It will say that you are connecting to this server first time, do you trust this URL, something like that. There will be two options like accept and reject, so you can click on accept. This is only one time. and next time it will not bother you. That's why you have noticed now today when I logged in, it did not that pop-up did not appear, because yesterday when I was testing, that pop-up already appeared and I clicked on accept, and it will not bother you anymore. Okay, so I have successfully logged in into my server using putty. There is another way also which we were trying yesterday, but there is some process change from EC2 side and I'm not able to connect from that method. Ultimately it does not make any difference. The only thing is connecting from browser is more convenient, because you don't have to download putty, or don't have to manually enter IP address, or don't have to use any key pair file. That's quite easy. You can simply go on the server list and click on connect. But unfortunately there is some change from AWS side which I still need to explore. I tried yesterday but I could not figure out. I think this is very recent change. It was not there in the July, so I'm not able to connect on that one. It's still giving me some error. Oh, we are able to log in now. That's good. Yesterday I was facing some issue and we are good now. So that's good. I can show you from both side, and both are pointing to the same server only. It's There's nothing different. It's like you are uploading some file to your Google Drive from your phone, and then you can access that file from the Google Drive on your laptop. There's no difference, right? Similarly, you whether you directly connect from the browser, that is more convenient, or you connect through your putty, there is no difference. If I will create any file in one place, and I can show you in another one as well. Okay, so let's do it from the browser. I think that will be more convenient. I will type pwd and it will display something. Can someone tell me what exactly pwd means? Anyone has any idea?
Print working directory.
Yeah, that's
Present
correct.
working directory.
Yeah, absolutely. So in Linux, right, in Unix based operating system, we are always in some directory, and sometimes we don't know which directory we are in. So we type pwd present working directory, and you can change also. Right now I am into my home directory. Every user has a home directory, and the home directory is nothing but slash home slash your username. So in our case, the username is EC2 hyphen user. That's why slash home slash EC2 hyphen user is our present working directory. Okay, so you don't have to be very you can say expert on Linux commands to be to learn cloud and all. But if you know little bit basics, like how to create a file, how to create a directory, how to rename a file, how to delete a file, if you know basics, that's more than enough. And if you do not know basics, it will hardly take 10-15 minutes. Simply go to Google and type basic Linux commands. Within 10-15 minutes you will be very comfortable with Linux commands, as you understood like what is pwd. Similarly, you can type date and it will display current date and time. You see that Wednesday August 14th 1:12:37 UTC. That's a UTC time. If you want to clear the screen because screen is almost full, right, you can type clear. So commands are very meaningful. That's why I'm telling, if even if you don't know Linux command, within 10 minutes you will understand. Not a big deal. Okay, these are basic Linux commands. But the purpose of logging into our server is not trying the date command and pwd command, right? Definitely we'll try to execute some AWS related commands. So we'll show that as well. In the meantime, I can quickly show you how to create a file or directory, and then we'll go to putty and I will show you that it's available there as well. So how to create a file? You can do touch. Touch is the command for creating a file. Touch and maybe my file dot txt, something like that. Enter. File has been created. If you want to see, you can do ls. Ls stand for listing, and it will display. Only file name it will display. If you want more detail, you can type ls hyphen l. Enter. It will display much more detail. These RW stand for read and write. Then EC2 user is your owner. This EC2 user is the group details. 0 is the size of your file because there is no data. This is the time when your file was created, and finally your file name. So much more details are displayed about your file. Another way to create a file is you can do echo and put some message. I would say hello world. Okay. And this content I will redirect to suppose this file, my file.txt, and enter. This time my file is not blank because I have written something into my file. If you want to check, you can do ls hyphen l once again, and this time you will notice the size of the file is not 0. You can see that 12. 12 is the number of bytes. 12 bytes is the